So going back to our house, right? And everything that's on my patio. So I have the fire pit we moved from over here. We had the grill here. We reflected it, and now it's over here. So now we're moving this blue object, which is an umbrella, right? So the umbrellas that sit on like tables outside, and then you open it up, and it's big like that. All right. So usually, right, they're not square like this, but just to help it kind of see the difference. It's got some texture, got some things like that. So we are looking at the umbrella has been rotated about its center. So this is where it started, and this is where it ended. Okay. So this is start and end. So the question that they're asking is how many degrees did it rotate in order to get there, right? It started here and it ended here. Now here's all of our options, and notice how they're all positive. Notice how they're all positive. So remember, when you're moving positive, you are moving counterclockwise. So that is that way. Remember, positive, which is all of these, is counterclockwise. So really, I would just say, this right here and then that right is now over here. So it started down here and it ended up over here. This is where I'm saying those turns kind of come into play. So how many turns did it go? It went one time. So if it went one time, what number did we say that was? 90 degrees. Okay, so that is it for that piece. Now we're going to look at this one. I'm not going to focus on this today just because I want to get you more comfortable with what is the actual rotation. But in case you see it or you're confused, I just want you to know. So what I like to do is, because your computer, right, has a backlight, you can totally use loose leaf or any type of paper and do this. But because I'm on paper right now, I'm going to use what's called wax paper. So if you have ever made cookies or something and have that paper that kind of doesn't stick to the dough, that's what this is. Only I have the kind that you get in the deli. It's a little bit smaller. So what I always tell students is you want to definitely draw the axis, because remember, we have to turn right here on that middle, okay? Then I'm going to trace my shape onto this paper. I guess you could use tracing paper too. I didn't think about that. And then I got that. So notice how I'm, kind of keeping my shape where it is. I'm adding the letters. I'm kind of doing that. So we are moving it to 90 degrees. So again, it's positive. That means it's going counterclockwise. And 90 degrees is how many turns? One turn. Okay, so line that back up. So one turn means that this line, right, because we're going this way, notice how this line is now over here, right, and this line is now over here, and then I have my shape here. And then what I do is I kind of look, okay, so that's out -1, 1 and -1, 5. D prime. Then I kind of put it back on, check in again. Okay, -3, 2, -3, 4. And now that is my shape rotated. And like I said, we're not going to focus on this today. So if you're like, what the heck did you just do, Ms. Sherman? It is not that deep. Not that deep. But it does want to know what the coordinates are. So we talked about it, but D prime is at -1, 1. C prime is at -1, 5. B prime is at -3, 4. And this is at -3, 1. Okay, so that is what we are kind of looking at. Like I said, we're going to focus more on just figuring out what the rotation is.